first memory is my father's death. And so I've known death as long as I've had a memory. And I've buried both my mother and my father. I've buried sister, I've buried friends. And I always find that funerals and rituals around death really can bind people together and be a beautiful way to say goodbye, or they can be pretty traumatic. The natural burial service I attended, it was so community-oriented, and it allowed people to come together to let go. The person who was grieving felt that entire community's support in a beautiful way. They were closer to the death. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't all that distance, there wasn't fake grass, there wasn't, folding chairs. It was like we were present, and the body was right there, and the community was able to come closer.
There's a revival of traditional burial practices springing up across the United States. It's a growing movement, but it's still very small. Larkspur Conservation is a 501c3 nonprofit chaired by Becca Stevens of Magdalene and Thistle Farms. We started in 2013 in the Nashville community, and we are developing a conservation burial ground within our community that will also double as a nature preserve and green space for people of our area to enjoy, but it'll also serve as a living memorial. You know, when you look at conventional cemeteries as you're driving down the road, you see a cemetery of all these upright headstones, and it's a place to go and remember people, and it's a very sacred place, but at the same time it's become a burial ground for concrete and plastic and steel and embalming chemicals, and it's really become a graveyard for all of those things that aren't necessary at the end of life. Natural burial takes all of those elements away, where you create a beautiful experience that's much less expensive on the family and on the environment. And you create a nature preserve and a beautiful sanctuary where people can come remember and experience a living memorial. With Larkspur Conservation, one of our primary goals within the years to come would be to buy more land to conserve, to create more green space in other communities around Nashville.
These practices are not new. They were demonstrated by our ancestors. By partnering with the Nature Conservancy of Tennessee, we will protect this land forever.
I have been a social entrepreneur for many years, and the two questions people ask the most are you scalable and are you sustainable? Larkspur is both of those things. It's a scalable and sustainable model. The team assembled to help lead this group is broad in scope and deep in commitment and intelligence. So we have landscape architecture people, we have folks who are involved in conservation, we have people who understand burial practices, we have attorneys. We are ready. We are capable of doing this, and we have a business plan that makes sense. It's a very, very, very good investment for people who want to have meaningful charitable gifts.